Well, this is very exciting. You listen to Virgin Radio Pride. There is a huge movie released this week that everyone's going to be talking about. And I've got the two stars here in front of me, Ben Hardy, Jason Patel. Hello.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
Hello to you both. So, tell me about Unicorns. Ben, first question. I've seen the trailer. I haven't watched the whole thing, so I wanted to watch it
Steve.
in a... I know. I wanted to be in a cinema, properly watch it, okay?
No,
but
okay, I respect that. I appreciate that.
please tell me the premise. Tell me the... I love this storyline. Tell me.
Okay, all right. So the premise of the film is we are with a Essex working class car mechanic who meets and potentially falls in love with a Gaysian drag queen. I suppose that's how I would encapsulate it. What would you say, Jason?
Yeah, I would say that, and they have this by chance meet, and they spark this crazy chemistry, and it goes on a journey that's like full of surprises and laughter and love, and it's really heartfelt. Oh, it's so good. Like, I don't want to. I will probably ruin it and give the whole thing away.
No spoilers. But honestly, from the trailer, it's so like in your face and high octane, and you're like, wow, this seems real. I just hope it's got a happy ending, Ben.
I can't tell you. I can't tell you that. I'd say that it's a fun and uplifting movie, though. Overall, I feel like you leave feeling better than when you came in. Hopefully.
Yeah, and I think you come in thinking it might be something, and it's definitely not what you think it is, and that's the best thing about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly got everything. It's a story of a queer South Asian nightclub performer living a double life and a young single father who works as a mechanic. Have I got that right?
Bang on.
Bang on.
Bang
so
on.
it's all going on there. Mm-hmm. When did you make it?
When was it? November 2022? End of 2022?
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
And tell me something, Jason, what was it like performing the character, performing as this character? What kind of homework did you have to do?
I did a lot of homework. I felt like there was a lot of things and skills that I had that I could bring to it. Obviously, I had to, otherwise I wouldn't have cast me in it. But we did a lot of detailed prep work. There was a lot of rehearsals in terms of like the performances, and then I would just take it to another level, and I was like, I sing, like, can I write songs for it? Can I do this for it? Like, if you like it, we'll use it. If you don't, like, let's not. And luckily they did like it. So it was just me doing a lot of research, kind of going into those spaces, even though I had touched up on these spaces and knew these people too. Some of them were my friends. Sorry, not were, are my friends.
I was going to say, what happened?
Film's over, man. Film's over. There's no use to you anymore. Yeah.
I don't know you anymore. And it was one of those experiences where it was like, I can really represent so many people in this community and in our world, and kind of really showcase that in such a vibrant way.
Have you both been in other LGBTQ plus programs, movies, projects?
I have.
I don't think I have. No, I'm trying to think now.
So this must be very exciting. It must be a different kind of role for you.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it is a different kind of role for me, and it is very exciting, And for me, I suppose it was an education as well, like exploring a community that I didn't know anything about. I knew nothing about the Gaysian drag scene, So to get to kind of learn and experience that was great. And even like I'm from Dorset, from like the West Country, where I don't know what the queer community is like in Dorset, but like my dad came to watch the movie, right? And he was there, and he was just like, he was fascinated. He was like, wow, like I didn't know like that this was going on, that they had this drag scene going on in like the basements of like Indian restaurants. It's like fascinating, So I just found it really interesting and really proud to be a part of it.
And tell me something, Jason. Did you have to research this, or were you already aware of the community and the nights and the heritage and the history?
Yeah, I knew about the nights. I think I'd been to one in my life, and that's just because I've never been able to, just like timing and stuff. But I didn't necessarily know a lot of these people, and it just meant through this process I've got to know a lot of these queens, and just like their story, it's so special, and the things that they've been through were just sometimes like gut-wrenching, but also just like fantastic, like the resilience that these people have, the strength they have, the bravery they have to be so independent and so charismatic and go for what they want and what they love doing.
Because I suppose they had an uphill struggle with religion and acceptance, and like we all do, you know, family members accepting who you are, but especially within some groups of people, it's trickier than others, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think it was their way of finding an alternative to even maybe the mainstream like queer community, and you find your chosen family, and I think there's that like extra layer of like culture and that shared culture that you kind of embrace. And I think like South Asian culture is like inherently so fabulous and queer. Of course, like these people are like, oh, how do we kind of like redefine this for like our identity and in like the Western world? And I think they've done something that's really amazing and that shines. And I think that's what's like special in this film, is that all these queens, like quite a few of them are real queens.
Yeah.
And they get to have their moment, and that's really like touches my heart.
It must be amazing. Well, listen, Ben and Jason, thank you so much. We've got the director, James, here. We're going to speak to him in just a second. But happy Pride to you two. Thank you so much. I wish you all the best, and I hope this movie is going to explode.
Thanks,
I know
Steve.
it is.
Thank
So
you so
congratulations.
much.
Happy Pride.
Happy Pride!
Happy Pride!
Hello.
Hello.
You're the big director. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. The big director, I like that. Not the small director, the big one. I love that.
The big guns are joining me here on Virgin Radio
yes.
Pride. So listen, tell me about, you know, what kind of reaction do you want from this film?
I think first and foremost, I want people to be entertained. You know, I'm a big believer that film should be enjoyable first. I think we do touch on a world that's never been seen before, like my lovely actors just said. So I think it's also a nice way of people discovering the Gaysian world, which hasn't been discovered before, certainly on film. And really, you know, think about what it's like to fall in love with someone that you totally didn't expect that you would, you know, which I think we can all kind of relate to.
Because this is very much like two worlds few worlds colliding, isn't it? Crashing together, coming as one. It's exciting stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's two worlds that are kind of on their doorsteps, really. You know, it's set in East London mainly, also in Manchester, but a lot of the Gaysian scene is in East London, and it's also about this young Essex mechanic who, you know, believes he's straight and falls in love with this Gaysian queen from East London. So it's these two very, very disparate worlds that are right next to each other, and in real life they do often kind of intermingle, and that's what a lot of the film is based on. It's based on real people and real stories.
And I'm fascinated, as a director, was it the case that the script was given to you and you were like, yes, I've got to do this? And how did you become aware of the premise and the story?
So I actually wrote the script as well.
Oh, amazing.
So I doubled my
that.
work. Like, yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah, so I kind of knew about the Gaysian scene. I dipped my toes in it when I was younger. And then about 8 years ago, I wanted to make a film set in the scene. And a very close friend of mine, Asifa Lahore, who is this legendary queen, she allowed me really to kind of get to the core of it, and I spent about 2 years getting to know everyone in it, and that was when the story came to me. It came from real people, real Aishas, real Indian drag queens, real Lukes, you know, real white straight boys who came into the scene, and that's where, you know, it came from.
There's going to be a load of people who will watch this movie who maybe haven't come out yet, who will watch it and think, oh my gosh, there is a world for me out there, you know, so you must be hoping that this will really kind of spread a message of positivity and hope out there.
Absolutely. It's a very aspirational film, you know, and we are spreading a kind of optimistic message about being yourself and falling in love with who you want to fall in love with. But we do also tell the realities and the struggles of what it's like to be young and queer today, in particular, I think, being young, Asian and queer.
Because it's difficult, right?
It's not easy. I mean, it's not easy for anyone who is perceived to be kind of not accepted by mainstream society. And I think, you know, that's one of the things I love about this month, is that you get to explode and sort of be yourself in all of your wonderful true colours of sexuality and gender and all these things, when mainstream society doesn't always allow you to.
Yeah, well, listen, thank you so much for coming in. I'm dying to see it, and I don't want to spoiler alert, but I just want to say to you, I hope there's a happy ending. I really hope it's happy.
I think you're going to like the ending.
Okay, all right then. James, listen, lovely to meet you. Just one final question. Where can we see this movie? I know it's being shown in cinemas, isn't it?
So right now, it's actually in all View cinemas up and down the country, because it's the main film for their Pride season.
Great.
And then also July the 5th, it will be in other cinemas too. pretty wide. So you'll hear about it.
Okay, lovely. Well, thank you to the cast. Thank you, boys.
Thank you.
All the best. Happy Pride, everyone.
Happy Pride.
Virgin Radio.